Hi, everybody. Ted and Ahmed from Alary Technologies, your trusted IT professionals. We're here. Hello, Ahmed.
Hello.
Thanks so much for joining me here on our very first episode of Secure by Design Beyond the Firewall. Today, we're going to be focusing on the basic question when you think about your IT for your business. And that is, why should I use managed IT services or an MSP?
Very good question. In simple terms, if you call your provider or your IT person or your IT guy or your niece or your nephew that they know about computers and you have an issue, it's probably too late. Why is it too late? Because you either lost data or you lost productivity time for you or your staff, or it is actually your data has been breached and your data is somewhere else and somebody has possession of it. And that's why managed IT provides proactive approach to how we deal with IT. The old fashion of I'll call you when I need you doesn't work anymore, because when you need us, it's too late. We don't want you to need us because that's not a good sign. You want to be preventing the need for the IT. And how do you prevent? Is by preparing everything ahead of time, is checking things, making sure all the little openings in the systems that we call patching is all closed, everything is clear, your backup is done on time, how many backups do you have? That is why we think in general, we get into depth for this later on, but right now, in general, we want to take care of things before they become a problem.
Cool. Okay, wow, that's a lot to think about. How about we parse that down a little bit and get a little bit into the weeds and dissect some of that? So you spoke about productivity. I'm guessing this means downtime.
Yep.
Right? So as a business owner, what does downtime mean to you?
Well, downtime means that I have staff that I'm paying them, and they're sitting doing nothing while they're waiting for a computer issue to be fixed, whether they try to print something and the printer doesn't work, or they try to send an email and there's no internet, or just the computer isn't turning on and they're just sitting there doing nothing. It may also mean downtime means for the owner, if the owner is the one who provides the IT service, because we know for some small business, the owner wears so many hats, and one of it is he's the one who goes and fix computer problems. This happens. We all know. Should it happen? Probably not. But we also know that they have to wear many hats, especially at the beginning of the business, where they're trying to save money and do everything themselves. Nothing wrong with that at all. So that is where you lose productivity, because either the business owner or sometimes there is a colleague in the office that is a little bit more IT savvy than the other person, and then he's the one who's called to come in and help troubleshoot any issues, like why can't I print this, or my email is not sending, do you want to tell me why? And that is, if you think about that, this is hours and hours and hours of productivity. Meanwhile, you have clients, you may have patients waiting if you're in a healthcare environment, if you're in a design or a project situation where everything else is delayed because your staff cannot do what they need to do in time.
So productivity is extremely hindered when you spend hours trying to figure something out, something that could have been detected within minutes from an MSP for your business, right? Okay, next, let's move on to security. A lot of times I hear this answer when I ask a company about where they store their company or their customer data. Oh, it's in Google. They've got backups of my stuff for me. Mm-hmm. Can you speak to this and if this is enough for my business?
Unfortunately, no. I hear this a lot from a lot of clients. They tell me, oh, I don't need to worry about IT. All my data is stored in the cloud, right? If it's in the cloud, I don't need to worry about it. Unfortunately not. It's in the cloud, but you access it from your computer or your device. And if somebody gains access to your computer or your device, they have access to your cloud. The other thing that you mentioned, is it backed up? Is Google backing up your data? Google is not backing up your data. Microsoft is not backing up your data. They allow you sometimes a way to revert a change, like if you deleted a file or somebody deleted a file from your OneDrive or Google Drive, that you can recover it from the trash or waste bin. But that does not mean it's a backup. It doesn't mean if a file got corrupted, you can get the previous version back. It doesn't mean if somebody deleted those files and you didn't know for a few days that you can recover it. You can't recover it. Sometimes you don't know that you lost the file. Sometimes you may have a staff member either by mistake or intentionally deleted some files, and you don't know until you need it. And then when you need it, you can't have it back because it's been over 30 days.
Wow. It's a lot of moving parts when it comes to keeping my business secure. It also makes me slightly nervous when I think about how precarious my data seems to be to the old Google's got my data for me, you know? Okay, next. Can you speak to data loss prevention? Does this mean ransomware? If my stuff is backed up, isn't that enough?
Well, data loss prevention means different things to different people, unfortunately. It means you're preventing your data from being lost completely gone, or it means lost meaning somebody else has possession of it. There's two different meanings to that phrase. We want to take care of both. We want to first make sure that you have backups, which is data loss prevention. If you lose all your data, your client lists, your projects files, your Word and Excel sheets that you keep all the valid, important information for your data is available for you the next day. So many businesses suffer from data loss, and it could be fire, it could be theft, it could be ransomware, and a lot of those businesses do not recover from such a loss. We want to make sure that doesn't happen to our clients. We want to make sure that they have a copy, a second copy, and in a lot of cases a third copy. We want to have a daily backup, a weekly backup, and a monthly backup to make sure that in case of a hardware failure, that data is recovery. In case of corruption, that data is recoverable. And in case of ransomware, you have another copy of the data. You're not completely in a ransom situation where you have no leverage.
Okay, great. And finally, the last thing that really caught me was once upon a time, we talked about inventory management from an MSP perspective. I've spoken with a ton of business owners that have stacks of old tech equipment, taking up space and prompting them, to grow dust in the office, right? Or they buy a new computer to find out that the old one was okay all along. How does an MSP manage my company tech inventory?
Most MSPs, or at least the ones who should be calling themselves MSPs, would have some sort of an agent that they install on all your equipment. That agent is grabbing information like memory, hard drive, storage, use of hard drive, processor, serial number, all information about the computer, sometimes even the last IP used and the location. So that information is very important when you're, as a business owner, you're trying to look at your assets and you want to know what do you have. Do you have 15 computers? Do you have 35 computers? Do you have 5 computers? And even which ones are used. We often see situations where we look at a computer and we see this computer did not come online for 3 months. And we would approach the business owner or the manager who's managing that and tell them, this computer did not show up on the network for 3 months. What's going on? And they go, oh, this person left and we did not reuse your computer. So the new person is hired, they got a new computer. What are we doing with the old computer? So in a lot of cases, you want to know. And in the same way, we would know the warranty status of that computer. If it's on a lease, when does the lease come up? And this is all very important for a business owner because these are assets and actually they're paying for them or they paid for them and they want to know how it's utilized.
Okay, great. Well, I thank you so much, Ahmed, for spelling that all out. With tech playing such a vital role in our businesses today, it's easy to think we might be invulnerable when in reality, we're prime targets for chaos. So I hope you learned as much as I did. Until next time, I'm Ted, and with me always is Ahmed, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Secure by Design Beyond the Firewall.